Hey everybody, welcome back to another Diecast review. Today we are taking a look at Mark Martin's. What year is this? I better pull the card out and take a look because I actually don't know the year. 1990. Tyson Holly Farms 400 winning car from North Wilkesboro. And you can see it is the Folgers 1/24 scale Ford Thunderbird. Ford T-Bird. So kind of an interesting one. But let's go ahead and start here. It is the newest member of the NASCAR Classics line. There is one other Mark Martin car coming, along with a Dale Jarrett car, and a number of other NASCAR Classics that will be coming out in the next year. So I'm going to start doing some more of these NASCAR Classics to try and see if I can. I'm going to try and cover all raced versions, NASCAR Classics, and Checkers or Records are kind of the three main lines. I can't do all the basics. There's just way too many. But these are small enough. I can usually handle these. So anyway, NASCAR Classics box all the way around. You can see there is 1,272 of these made. So decent number of them have been produced. And I'd love it to see, too, if they, at some point later on down the line, start going back and making cars that are actually from my area, in another 10, 15 years, if they'll make, Casey Kane's 06 Coke 600 and, that was a big one that I really wish they could have made. Obviously as a Kane fan, that's one, but other ones too. There's some Jimmy Johnson cars that would have been really cool to see. I think Jeff Gordon had, I'm trying to remember if any of his got DNP'd. But just the random ones that didn't get made for whatever reason. Very cool to see those come back later. Here you go, the Tyson Holly Farms 400 race winning card. It was September 30th, 1990, started second. He led 39 laps, won by 3 seconds, 9 total cautions for 40 laps. Yeah, this is a short track, guys. 9 cautions for 40 laps. You know what that means? They didn't screw around. They averaged 4.1 laps per caution. 4. That means yellow came out, pit road was open within a lap, and then the lap cars would pit the next lap, and then they were lining up and going green. It was that fast. So let's get back to that. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look. The reason I find that hilarious is now we'll literally see like 4 cautions for 40 laps because they're averaging 10 laps of yellow for some dumb reason. But let's go ahead and get into this car because this car is pretty cool. Down the left side, we do have our Folgers Ford Thunderbird. So you can see actually on the front, we'll start here. We got T-Bird down there. See actually some buildup, which is probably not enough. There's probably more because it is North Wilkesboro back in its prime. And you can see just the different vents here on the front. It is a Ford Thunderbird front end. So we do have Ford there. You can see we got Folgers, Valvoline up there. So we do have that classic number 6 Folgers car. You can see they did actually get a lot of these sponsors to come back on. All these contingency sponsors. It's kind of cool to see all those on there. I think there might be a sponsor missing right here. I could be wrong. I can look and see if they edited it out of the picture maybe. It feels weird. This feels like an empty spot. But you got Folgers, Valvoline. You can see a little dent in the rear and it looks dented. It's not. It is literally perfectly flat. You can kind of see it there. But the dent and the way that the shadow off it works, it looks really good. You can see we got a bunch of wheel marks here on the left side. Love that. A couple chalk marks on the tires. Another wheel mark there on the very front of it. Let's move around to the back. We got Folgers on the rear. We got Valvoline. You can see that. Look at that rear bumper. It's all dented in. Again, looks dented. It's perfectly flat all the way across, but it just looks dented. Now you see it's perfectly flat, but then from this angle, it looks dented. I will say that's one thing they have done. As much as I wish they could just dent the actual car, the graphics do make it look dented. They are not slouching on making the graphics at least accurate enough to make you trick your eyes and tell you it's dented. So I will give them props there. Sunny Delight, Citrus Hill. You can't really see what's in the back here because I don't have enough light coming into the car. We do have the red fuel cell, and that's kind of it, but it is in there. It's just hard to see. DIN number is 938. No right side window, as that is part of the short track package that they had run in this car. There you can see another big wheel mark there on the right side. Chalk marks there on the tires from their sets. I think it was their 6 set of tires. Another little mark up here on the front, and then yeah, a bunch of contingencies again here. So I didn't get a chance to pop the hood yet. I should probably do that. So there you can see our engine detail, better than any of our Elites right now. But you can see we got chrome, the chrome air filter, and the chrome valve covers, which, of course, shiny is always good. But you can see the different radiator up here and then a little side radiator there. Does the front end have some suspension? I think it does. Rear, oh, does the rear has? No. I don't think the front has suspension, the rear does not. So you can see the front bouncy. So there is a little suspension at least in there. Window net is hard plastic, not a rubber one. But overall, a really cool car, especially for those of you guys that are actually old enough to remember this. Now, my audience typically by the metrics is very young, so don't see a ton of people that were around for this race. However, those of you that were, it's probably pretty cool to get to see one of these come back. I mean, especially if it's a memorable race, or your favorite driver that won it. These NASCAR Classics have a potential to be a really cool one because, it can really fill in the gap of these cars that got, that didn't get produced due to the guy winning too many times in that year, or in this case, they just didn't make race versions back at that era. But I'm looking back to, potential for 2008, 2009, for them to make some of those cars that just never got made because they didn't get offered, didn't get produced for whatever reason. So it'd be kind of cool to go back and get some of those made and, put them on that classics line. So very cool that they can put that option out there. So, other than that, though, guys, that'll pretty much wrap up this review. You can find this at rasdiecast.com and use the promo code RaceCraze at checkout to get yourself 10% off. It's actually 9.5, because of the 95, but I rounded up. So, anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you have enjoyed, and we will see you in the next Diecast review.